Welcome to Stamp Together. Today we're going to make one of these bougie little purses. They're just adorable. There's a Velcro flap, and of course on the inside you can put all kinds of things for young or old. You could put, of course, money and gift cards. You could put Kleenex, earrings, lotion, chapstick, candy, that's a must. Maybe some concert tickets, hand sanitizer, gum. They're just endless amount of things that you can fit. It's roomy enough that plenty will fit, but yet it's small enough and it makes the perfect little package, possibly for a birthday, end of the school year. Gifts are coming up for teachers. Mother's Day. You could even make some in Christmas and give to the ladies at your Sunday school class or your bridge group. They just make adorable little purses. So let's make one. Today I'm going to use a sheet from Paper Medley, Stampin' Up! Designer Series paper pack. And I love how this turns out because on the little pleats here in this purse, you'll notice that the lines go this way, and then on the purse itself, they go horizontal. So that adds an extra little texture and fun thing to this purse. But you can always do flowers. Most any kind of non-directional pattern works well. So to begin with, we're going to take this piece, and of course Stampin' Up's paper, Designer Series paper, is double-sided, but the side that we want to use today is this outside leaf pattern. And we're going to put it on the diagonal and use your bone folder and make a nice, smooth, flat crease. Take it apart, turn it the opposite way, and again, we're putting point to point, using your bone folder and making a nice crease. And you'll take that apart and then go long ways, or this is square, so you're going to fold in half exactly. Again, bone fold to make a nice crease. Take this apart, turn it the opposite way, and again, fold in a rectangle, fold in half, and bone fold. So now we've got this, and we are going to want to make a point, like a triangle. So we're going to come in with the sides and flatten the top down, and that makes a nice little triangle. And again, I like to bone fold this so my creases are nice and flat. So I'm going to bring in my Simply scoring tool. Mine is well loved. I like it a lot. So, and we are going to score at 3 1/4. Oh, excuse me. This is 4 1/4. Correction, 4 1/4 and 7 3/4. And you're not going to be able to go through all 4 layers of this, but if you'll do it on this side and then flip it all the way around and do it again on the back side at 4 1/4 and 7 3/4. All right, put the Simply Scored up. Now, you probably can't see it in the video, but you're going to take and fold on that line. Make sure you're lining it up square with the bottom, and you're going to do that on both sides. And I'm just turning this because that's easier for me. I'm folding it on the score line there. And then you can flip it over and do the same exact thing on the back. Make sure it's square along the side and crease that nice and flat. One last side here. So at this point, we can't fold both of these because it's in the way, but this side and this side both are folded exactly at the same place. There, you can look at that. So now I'm going to kind of unfold this so I can lay it down flat. Let me fold that back. So on our folds here that we just made, up at the top, you're going to fold this at the point and come straight down the side that you just folded here so that both of these are parallel. And I'm going to use my bone folder to kind of help that. This is through a lot of layers, so you're going to want to burnish that nice and flat. Now, on the other side, again, there's our fold line, and we're going to take at the point. If you can remember, this is the point of our triangle. This is going to be the bottom of the purse. So this is the side that we're working on, because there are lots of points all over the place here, right? Again, we're going to take the part we just folded, fold it back on itself, and go right down that same fold line. And again, I'm using the bone folder, and you can kind of see now, this is the bottom of the purse like this, but you can kind of see how these lines are diagonal and this goes horizontal up and down. It depends on which way you fold this. The first one I did, these lines were horizontal. Either way is fine. There's no right or wrong there. So again, here's the point. This is the bottom of my purse, and I am folding, starting on that end, making another point, folding along the original fold line, and we'll burnish that, make it nice and flat. And one more here. I think I turned this around just because it's easier for my hands to work with it this way, but this is the point. This is the bottom of your purse. That's your orientation, and we're going to fold this onto itself and burnish it down. So this is what it looks like on both sides. And this is, as I said, it's going to be the bottom of the purse. So I'm going to open this up a little bit and flatten this down. There's no real score line for the sides, but that just kind of falls into place. Now, these are my front and my back. So I am taking my fold here, and it's going inside the front, and I'm folding the front over. Here's my long piece. This makes the front pleat, and this triangle I am folding down. That will go inside of my purse. Again, this triangle goes in, folds over the front, and bend the triangle down. So that makes the front of my purse. We'll do the same to the back. Fold in, over on the front, fold the triangle back down, and in, fold over the front, and fold the triangle down. So at this point, I am going to adhere these triangles down to the front. That will just make it all kind of stay together so much better. So I like to use Tombow. It's very strong adhesive. I always remember years back, I had a pile in the corner of things that I had saved, like three-dimensional flowers that I put together with Tombow. They were still, years later, all stuck together, just had dust on them. So Tombow is nice and strong. Although you can use hot glue, or you could use tear and tape, whatever your preference is. And I am using my bone folder just to put a little pressure where I've put the glue. So hopefully you can see that. It's stuck. And now we're going to do this side the same way. Just bend that triangle down, put a little adhesive on it. Doesn't take a lot, so you don't want it oozing out the sides. Put a little pressure on there. This is called a pleated purse, obviously with the pleats in the front and the back, but it just makes a really adorable little purse, and it's so easy to do. You've just got one sheet of designer series paper, size 12 by 12. Now I guess you could do this with a 6 by 6 the same exact way, and you'd have a really cute little itty bitty purse, which I bet a young little girl would enjoy that. Maybe you could put some quarters in there for her if you made smaller. All right, so here it is. There's my pleats, my side, and my pleats. So you want to play with this just a little bit at this point, making the bottom square and then bringing the sides in so it will kind of fold in like that. And same way on this side. I'm going to use my hand to kind of make that square on the side and bring my purse in. And if it doesn't really want to fold, just go back in with your hand and kind of put it into place. Alrighty, so there's our pleated purse, but it needs a flap. So what I have done is I have used the Everyday Arches. This is the stamps, and you get a whole set of 10 dies. They've got a little stitching on them. The one that I have used is about 3 1/4, which is the same width as the purse. It's just a little bit under. So it's, I think it's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I am going to bring back my Simply scoring tool, and I want to score it at 2 inches and 2 1/4 inches. This 1/4 inch section here in the middle is what is going to be in the opening of the purse. So the back score line is going to be in the back of the purse, and the front score line is going to be at that on the other end of that 1/4 inch. So now at this point, if you want to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back part, and if there's one direction or the other that looks better to you, obviously use that. But we're going to put this fold, the back fold at the top, right on that score line, and hopefully, let me hold it here. You can even use your bone folder to put a little pressure on that so that it sticks down, but I'll lift it up here. So there's your score line, and that goes right along the back fold. And then your front score line is going to go along the front part of this fold. I don't have with me right at this moment, but I use low profile Velcro dots. And let me show you here. If they're the larger ones like this, I will cut them in half, the 3/4 inch size. I used to be able to get 1/2 inch low profile. That works great. If not, get the larger low profile Velcro dots and put that right on the front flap. Before we finish here, we want a purse strap. So I have cut 1/4 inch by 8 1/2 inches, and I am just going to put a little bit of adhesive on each side of the opening here in the middle, that 1/4 inch middle, and I'm going to put my purse strap right in there. And you'll just want to hold it in place. Normally we use about the same color of flap as strap so that they kind of go together, but depending on your design you may want to choose something totally different for your strap. So that's secure there. And then, like I said, put your little Velcro underneath the front flap. You can embellish this with maybe a punch or a die cut flower. We used a gold die cut flower on the inside there. Here we used a bow with a little gold rhinestone. And on this one, we used a little flower and a three-dimensional embellishment. Your choice on that. Just have fun and keep it in character. Thanks for watching Stamped Together on this adorable pleated purse. Thank you.